you're experiencing sore knees, this class is for you. Welcome back to Muscle and Mobility, the channel where we build muscle and mobility all in one easy spot so that you can feel amazing. Today we're going to go through a 10-minute Kinstretch routine for the knees. What that means is we're going to be strengthening all the connective tissue around your knees, bringing blood flow deep into that knee joint, and you're going to feel so good by the end of this class. So make sure to stick around and come with me through the whole journey. For our first exercise today, all you're going to need is a couch and a pillow. We're going to start with knee flexion PAILs. What that stands for is progressive angular isometric loading. What does that mean? It means that we're going to be loading your connective tissue in a really gentle and safe way. This is important because we're going to strengthen all the connective tissue that is around your knee, and we're going to be bringing a lot of blood flow to deep inside that knee joint, which means we're bringing vital nutrients to deep inside that knee joint. A lot of times when we have sore knees, it's actually that we are not strong enough around the knee. The connective tissue is weak and we're not getting good blood flow to deep inside that knee joint. And if you're not getting good blood flow, we're not getting the nutrients that the knee needs into that joint. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Here's exactly what you're going to do. Get set up with your knee on a pillow and your foot on a couch, just like this. If I was from a side angle, it would look a little bit like this. You should get a bit of a stretch into your quad. Once you're set up here, go ahead and take a second if you need to. Get set up, pause the video and come back if you need. But once you're set up here, we're going to be creating a contraction. And that contraction is for the knee itself to strengthen all of that tissue. You may also feel it all the way up into your quad, completely normal. So we're in this position, and then go ahead and start pushing your foot into your couch as if I'm going to extend the knee like this, but I can't because the couch is in the way. All right, so we're going to be doing that for 1 whole minute. I'll time you. Ready? Go. So you're driving your foot into the couch. Ramp up that contraction slowly. Push as hard as you can to feel a bit of a contraction, and then be like, can I push a little bit more? Can I push a little bit more? We should now feel like we are lighting up our quad and around the knee joint itself. I want you to feel like this is work. If you're pushing gently enough, you're like, I kind of feel it, push harder. This should feel like work for your quads and for your knees. We're at 45 seconds here. For this last 15 seconds, push as hard as you can. 10 more seconds. Can you ramp that up a little bit more? 5 more seconds. Can you ramp it up a little bit more? And relaxing. Did that feel like you got a bunch of work right into here? Let's go ahead and switch sides. We're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So we're getting set up in your stretch. You might get a bit of a stretch through your quad here. And then we're going to start our contraction to strengthen the connective tissue and bring blood flow into the knee. Okay, so I'm going to time you for 1 minute. Go ahead, start driving your foot into your couch. Everything is firing up. The quad is firing up. Around the knees is firing up. And we're holding this for 1 minute. By the end of the 1 minute, it should feel hard. So go ahead and push hard enough that you're like, ooh, am I going to be able to hold this for 1 minute? I'm not really sure. That's when you know that you're actually pushing hard enough. If by the end of the 1 minute, you're like, oh, thank goodness that minute is over. Like, that was hard work. That is what we're looking for here. Keep going. 15 more seconds. Can you push a little harder for this last bit? 10 seconds. Can you push even a little bit more? 5 seconds. Push as hard as you can. How hard can you work here? And relaxing that contraction. Do you feel your quads light up here? Did you feel everything work? If so, hit the like button so that I know that you felt your quads and everything working in those contractions. Now that we've built some strength within the knee, it's time to add in some rotation at the knee. These are called knee CARs, or controlled articular rotations. What this demonstrates is your tibia can rotate within the knee itself. And what that does is it brings more blood flow to the deepest tissue inside the knee. Adding in rotation is going to hit the tissue that's even deeper inside the knee capsule than we did right there. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit on the ground just like this. This is your tibia, this bone in your shin right here, and it comes up into the knee. This is what we're going to be focusing on in your knee CARs. You're going to go ahead and pull your toes as close to your shin as you can get them, locking out the ankle. Take your hands and grab onto your thigh because I don't want that leg moving around like this, and this is going to lock you in. Now you're going to watch your tibia right here and how it can rotate out in the knee and it can rotate back in the knee. From another angle, you can see the tibia here. It can rotate out in the knee and in the knee. Go ahead and just practice that a few times for me. How far out can you go? How far in can you go? What we're working here is the deepest tissue inside this knee joint. So it's keeping that tissue healthy by teaching it how to rotate. This is a primary, very important function of the knee that we often forget about, which is why we get sore knees. Of course, our knees are sore if we're not doing the things that a knee is meant to do, right? So just go ahead and sit here for a second and go in. How far in can you go? Out. How far out can you go? Notice how much is your tibia rotating within the knee. If you're one of those people that it's not rotating very much, keep practicing. This will get better the more that you do it. You should start to feel like some of the muscles around the knee and the supporting structures down into your shin are starting to work. They're starting to feel strengthened. You're going to feel this even more if every time you twist, you go, is this really as far as I could go? Could I twist a little bit more? Back out. Is this really as far as I could go? Could I twist a little bit more? That's how you're going to get that tissue really fired up. And then, of course, we're going to switch right over to the other side here. Pull those toes as close to your shin as you can get it. Grab onto your thigh so that it can't move around. That would be your hip doing your work for the knee. We don't want that. All right, how far out can you go? How far in can you go? Remembering that every time we pull out, we question, is this really as far as I could go? Could I pull out a little bit more? And when you come in, is this really as far as I could go? Could I pull in a little bit more? And we're going to keep going through that. Challenge yourself here. Really notice, could you try to pull a little bit more in either direction? Knowing that the more that you put into these kinds of exercises, the more that you're going to get out of it. We're giving your inner knee so much feedback here. We're saying, hey, body, that inner knee tissue, it's important. Bring blood flow into that inner knee tissue. Lay down more healthy tissue deep in that knee and in the supporting structure around the knee. That's what we're saying with this exercise. This is giving the body the information of what you want it to do, right? How do you want it to spend its energy to lay down more tissue? Where do you want it to focus on? That's what this is all about. That is why it works. It's all information that we are providing the body with. Last reps here. How far out can you go? Really squeeze that. Can you pull any more? How far in can you go? Really squeeze that. Can you pull any more? If you feel like any of the supporting tissue around your knee got worked, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so that I know that it worked for you. Leave me a comment to let me know how it feels. And of course, subscribe because you're going to get more content just like this. Mobility walkthroughs that make feeling good easy.